Good afternoon. Well, I've been sitting here with my cookbook and my phone trying to figure out how I spent $70 on just produce last week on July 3rd when I made my Walmart order. Now, I want to tell you something important about Walmart if you're low income and if you have any government subsidy at all. Say, for instance, you're on SSI, or you have Medicaid, or you already have SNAP benefits. Maybe you have, like me, LIHEAP, which is fuel assistance for your home, electric or what have you. Well, they made me an offer, Walmart Plus, for something called Walmart Plus Assist. And if you Google it, Walmart Plus Assist, you will find that they are giving a year of Walmart Plus delivery. And it covers a lot more than delivery. You can get 10 cents off per gallon of gas at the Murphy's or Exxon and Mobil. But Murphy's is going to be cheaper, and they're usually near a Walmart. You can get a free year of Paramount. There's a bunch of things, benefits that you can get and ways to save money. And free deliveries, free shipping on items from Walmart that come to your door, not just the food. So there's just a lot of benefits, and it's only $49 for the year if you get the Walmart Plus Assist. Well, I thought this was really important because I paid like $125 last year for a year worth of, my daughter only got it for $99, but I couldn't get it for $99. I had to pay more. Maybe because I'm from Florida, it must differ from state to state, but it doesn't differ if you're on any kind of assistance. And it was easy. I didn't even have to prove it. They just had a list and they said, which of these assistance are you receiving from the government? I pressed LIHEAP, and there it was. They're going to take the $49 out of my Walmart card. I have a Walmart credit card. This has helped me exponentially. I've been able to really look at what I'm spending for food. Now, I keep that Walmart credit card. I believe, I can't remember if it's Capital One or if it's Citibank. It's in my purse and I don't feel like getting up to get it. Anyway, I got a Walmart benefit card. Now, there's been some sort of a problem with it. It was 5% back from anything you bought from Walmart. I'm not sure I'm getting that anymore. But right now I'm using it in my Walmart account, and only for food and whatever, I'm not going to put anything on it other than paper goods, soaps and toiletries, and food. That's all I'm putting on it because those are the things I count as groceries. Things you go to the grocery store and generally buy, and of course my bottled water. So it's helping me really tweak what I'm spending. I can really look at where my money's going. Plus, I can bring up any week of grocery shopping, and it says view items, and I press the little button with, like, if I had 45 items, you press the little arrow and get to see everything you got. Well, I was really shocked that I spent $70, and that was with refunds on items that they gave me that were bad, or that were, the apples, they confused me really bad, and the apples weren't very good that they gave me. And so, but they give me my money back right away. And if they don't, and they ask me to return it, which is usually a computer glitch, any produce you do not have to return, you just throw it away. Anyhow, I called their number and I said, I'm really upset. And I told her what had happened. And one of the things that went wrong is, I don't know how this happened, but I ordered a thing of Smucker's natural peanut butter. It's just peanuts, and that's it. No oil, no salt, no sugar. It's just ground up peanuts. And I must have pressed the large jar because they ended up sending me 2 small jars, and that came to almost $9. I was pretty upset about that, but I just said to myself, you know what? I need to start putting some food aside for emergency use. It's hurricane season, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty active year. So I took the extra jar of my Smucker's peanut butter, and I put it up top of my cabinet. Now I'm looking through I have a little mini pantry cabinet. There isn't much in it, guys. So the only protein I got was the peanut butter, a big bag of what they call sea legs or imitation crab, because I like to have crab meat salad sandwich for lunch, and so I just chop it up and add light mayo, put it on bread. That's the other thing I need is bread. Excuse me. Oh my. Hang on a minute. But it was all produce, okay? It was all produce, except for 3 items, and it still was $70. I'm just in a state of shock. How can I get this bill down? Because, like I said, 2 jars of peanut butter, the sea legs, and the rest was all canned peaches in juice, scallions, like 2 onions, just 2. It's more expensive to buy them separately, guys, than to buy the bag, but I don't go through them that fast. I use I don't cook that often anymore because leftovers don't thrill me, and so I end up not wanting it. Sometimes I freeze it and I still don't want it a month later, and sometimes I throw things away because I just got sick of it. Somehow I have to make smaller batches at the same time that I'm trying to save on food. I don't want to throw anything away. So I had gotten about 3 weeks ago 3 packages of the grass-fed ground beef from Walmart. It's cheaper if you buy the 3 packages, and I made one, and I'm not crazy about the grass-fed beef, and I'm probably not going to buy it again, but I still have 2 packages whole in my freezer, and I had 2 burgers left for making 6 burgers out of the pack. What I do is I add some onions and whatever I can put in my burger to expand it a little bit. Sometimes I might add some grated carrot and the grated onion. I might take some celery and grind that up and put it in. Just kind of depending. I add some ketchup and some mustard sometimes. And I just mix it all up, and then I make my patties, and they go farther. So I had 2 patties left in the freezer, and I'm not crazy about them as burgers. So I said to myself, I started looking, I started shopping for my next Walmart haul. So, I have the stuff in my cart ready to go. And I thought to myself, what do I love for summertime food? Well, one of my big favorites is hot dogs in a bun. And so I purchased a thing of Oscar Mayer beef hot dogs and the rolls. And I like to try to get the rolls that do not have high fructose corn syrup, because high fructose corn syrup makes you fatter, from what I've read. And it increases appetite, and it just isn't any good for you. So I got Nature's Own rolls. Now I have to pay more, yeah. Whenever you get anything that's a little cleaner, you pay a lot more. But I couldn't find even 1 jar of relish for a decent price that had no high fructose corn syrup. So I'm just getting the cheap brand, and I'll try to go easy on it and just be aware of my cravings, for more high fructose corn syrup. So I'm making my list, and so far I'm up to $34. And so I'm concentrating on a hot dog a day for lunch. And then I'm going to make I think I'm going to try this carrot, mushroom, and red lentil soup, which is in my book, which was given to me by a friend. Be a plant-based woman warrior. And the recipe I'm going to use is the carrot, mushroom, red lentil soup. And if you want to stop your video so you can read it, here it is. So I'm buying the ingredients. I already had a lot of it, and some of it, like, I can't afford all these spices. Cumin, chili powder, turmeric, cayenne, black pepper, I already have that. So I have a bottle of Spice Island Southwest seasoning, and I'm just going to use that. I also, that's another. So the things I will need, and I actually had half a bag of red lentils that I took back with me when Bonnie was leaving North Carolina. She just gave me a lot of things out of the pantry of hers, and I happened to have some red lentils. Now, I don't have the cup and a half of dried red lentils. It looks like about maybe 3/4 cup. And I'm just going to half this recipe because this recipe feeds, how many? It doesn't say. Oh, 4. Oh my. There's no way that this recipe feeds just 4. I'd be stuffed to the gills. So I'm going to make a half batch of this. That way I can't possibly get bored. I'll have it for one day, and that'll be enough. The other thing I started thinking about is, okay, so I got those 2 hamburger patties, and I don't feel like hamburgers. What can I do with it? So I just started going through my fridge and my little closet, and I found that I had a can of black beans, a can of kidney beans. I already have the onion, and I have celery and carrots, too many carrots, a can of red diced tomatoes, and some chili seasoning in the freezer that I had used some because I don't like a lot of sodium in my food. I take like a tablespoon out and throw it in, and that's enough seasoning. Plus I have a can of diced red tomatoes. Did I say that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself some chili. Chili is something that I enjoy and I'd eat no matter what. And because I was going to buy the ingredients for chili for next week, but then I said, I've got some chili ingredients right here in this house now. So I'm going to use that and make the chili for the rest of the week because I'm only 3 days into my $70 haul. Now, thank God, I already had ground turkey in the freezer. I still have some flounder that's frozen that I got hauled from a month ago. I still have 2 packs of the grass-fed hamburger, and I actually have a whole boneless turkey breast to cook. So I'm not going to need to buy meats, fish, or anything for some time to come. So I'm trying to devise my list. I'd really love to get my food bill. 70 wasn't bad, but eventually I'm going to have to pay the piper and buy proteins unless I decide I'm going to use beans and lentils as my protein. And there's a lot of interesting and delicious beans. I know there's a Greek recipe called fava, and I'm pretty sure it's chickpeas that's basically cooked with, seasonings, and it becomes a creamy soup, very garlicky, very delicious, high in protein, low in fat. You don't have to smother it in olive oil, but if you choose to, use a high quality olive oil and smother it good. Of course, the garlic and the onion. But I'm going to stretch out my chili by adding vegetables that I just had in my bin that are sitting there. The celery's getting old, and so I can cut that up and put that in there. I have an onion. I have carrots, And I have a can of corn. That's going to go in my chili with the beans, with the 2 leftover hamburgers, onion and garlic, and the seasonings that I already have on hand. You can fudge your seasonings at any time. It doesn't have to be exactly what the recipe says. Like I said, not only do I have a curry seasoning. Unfortunately, it has MSG in it, and I didn't look, and I didn't notice, and that was under the Spice Island, which I get from Ollie's, and I think Big Lots might also have those Spice Island seasonings, but you gotta look at the back of the label, always. You never know when they're going to sneak something nasty in like MSG, and some people are allergic to it, and some people like me just don't want to eat it. But I have it now, and I use it sparingly, and I might put a little bit actually in my chili to give it a little zing, because turmeric has zing, and curry powder has zing, and I like that. So, and it makes a lovely color, it always adds a lovely color. So, yeah, so for the rest of this week, I have a lot I can do from my fridge. Another thing I was thinking is to take the rest of that white fish, an onion, and some potatoes, buy a little bit of whole milk, and make a chowder. Generally, when I make chowder, I like to add chicken broth to it instead of water. So, say for instance, I usually put my chopped onion and if I want garlic in it, but I don't think I'll do that. I put my chopped onion in, right? And instead of sauteing it in butter, you could just add a little bit of chicken broth and get that going, right? And then you put your potatoes in and a little more chicken broth, and you let that cook until your potatoes are, not too tender, because the last thing you want to do is add your white fish in. And then 5 minutes tops, guys, when you have hot broth, And you don't put too much broth in because you want it nice and creamy with either real cream, half and half. I use whole milk because it's cheaper. And I can use it for other things, like maybe I want some Rice Krispies as a treat before bedtime. I hate to go to bed on an empty stomach, and I like Rice Krispies. They help me fill up. Sometimes I'll chop a banana up in it, So these are some of the things I'm trying to do to keep my food bill down, because quite frankly, I pay more for food than I pay for rent and utilities. That's awful. And Walmart Plus really helps me out because I can't always get to the store. Sometimes I'm too sick from fatigue or from pain. Sometimes it's just too hard to walk that far. And sometimes you can't find a scooter at Walmart that's ready to go. And yeah, I do a lot of my shopping with Walmart. I used to love Publix, but I really can't afford them anymore. Sometimes if I want a really special box of strawberries or peaches or plums, I'll go there. But I think I'm going to start hitching a ride with my family members to Sam's Club, where I can buy a great big bag of plums for about $7, if they're still $7, a nice big flat of mangoes, and things like that. So, but it's just not in the budget right now. I'm budgeting so that I can afford a naturopath to try to find a less invasive way to deal with my spine degeneration and my hip problem. So I have to cut down somewhere, and food is somewhere that would be, I won't say easy to tweak. I've really found, I think it's all over the country, of course, because, I see the videos, prices have gone up. They say, X amount of percent. 25% in most instances, and I have found 50% increase in a lot of instances on certain items like eggs, like just the Walmart Great Value eggs that was $1.28 a pound. A dozen before COVID is now what, $2.48, double. That's double. Is that 50% or 100%? You do the math. I think that's 100% increase in eggs. That's really awful. COVID was not that long ago, 4 years ago, and to double the price of eggs, I think, is criminal. But they always have a reason why. So now I just buy the expensive eggs, because if I'm going to pay $3 thereabouts for crappy eggs that the hens aren't treated right and they're not pasture raised so that they got the real vitamin D in those beautiful orange yolks, I might as well pay the 5 something for quality eggs. I find I don't use them as much. I don't need to. They're very filling, and I mostly put them in things like if I want pancakes, I want to boost my protein, I'll throw an egg in there. So, yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm just working on trying to reduce my grocery bill, but not sabotage my health. Now, I know, hot dogs and white rolls are not a healthy food, but I'm craving them, and I figured I can do that for lunches for a week. 1 hot dog is more than enough for me. I'll have some chopped up carrot sticks and some cucumber slices along with that. Maybe I'll make some potato salad, and I'll put green pepper, celery, and onion in it, and that way I have some vegetables with the potato salad. I already have a jar of my light mayo, unopened, waiting to be opened in my little pantry closet. And I'll do the chili, which is a better, I think, healthy choice for evenings for a week. I'm just going to have to repeat a lot of the things I'm eating and try not to get bored. That's not always easy, but I'm going to do my best. Maybe I can do something else with the chili if it gets tiring. But that's pretty much how I plan on trying to reduce my Florida grocery bill, which really was getting out of hand. I was doing 110, 120, 130 a week. I just can't do that anymore. So I have to tweak it and figure out how to keep it at $70 or less. And the only reason I'm able to do that right now is I already had meat and stuff in the freezer. It's probably going to be there for quite a while. Thank God I overbought, because now that I want to reduce what I'm spending, it's going to be a lot easier. So look around your cabinets, look in your freezer, open those bags that you're like, what is this? See what it is. I found bread I hadn't used, so now I'm using that. And it was wrapped up in a bag because it was not from Walmart. It was from something I ordered online. Terrible mistake there. And yeah, so now I'm just using what I have and going through the freezer, going through the fridge, going through the vegetable drawers, try not to waste anything. Desserts probably aren't going to happen because they're just not in the budget. Though recently I made some cookies because I had some ingredients. And so I just put together some chocolate, just little cakey cookies, and it helps my craving because I keep seeing Oreo cakesters and they look good. So instead I just made myself a chocolate cookie out of the I think it was almond flour, some coconut flour, some butter, cocoa, some xylitol. That's another thing I need soon, is either erythritol, which I think is a little cheaper, not really, or xylitol, because I'm running very low on that. And I do use it for cooking. It greatly reduces the calories when I want something sweet. And I know there's controversy about both erythritol and xylitol, and if I ever die from a heart attack, you'll be the first to know. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Keep trying. I know it's hard during these times to afford good things to eat, but I believe you can do it. Let's try. Bye.